This video is in a series of videos to help you as you set up Evidence for Learning. This is an optional step. Step 2C, set up data. Create a framework for use with multiple learners, such as subject-specific or accreditations.
You're going to create a text file that you'll use to import your framework. If you're using a PC, we would recommend that you download Notepad++. And if you're using an Apple Mac, we recommend that you download BB Edit. Both are free to download. You can copy and paste information from either an Excel document or a Word document into the text file that you'll use to create your framework. So I've got a framework on the right-hand side that I want to add. And on the left-hand side, because I'm using a PC, I've downloaded and opened up Notepad++. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy across the title of the framework from the right-hand side and put that on the first line of the text file on the left. So I just paste that in and then I press return. So the first rule of making a framework within a text file that you can add to Evidence for Learning is that the first line is always the name of the framework. The second line also never has any formatting at the start of it. So in this case, this maths framework is broken down into 3 subject areas. So I'm going to copy across the first heading from the right-hand side and paste it in. I'm going to scroll then down to the next area of the curriculum, copy that in, and again, paste that to the left-hand side. So I'm going to paste that onto its own new line. And again, scrolling down on the right-hand side to the next subheading of the framework, which is shape, space, and measure. I'm going to copy that and then paste that onto the left-hand side. These black CRLF, as it's shown on my screen, just indicates where the end of the line is. So if I put a few more spaces, that just moves across. The CRLF won't appear on the framework when it's imported in. The next thing to do is to start to copy across all the outcomes within this section from the right-hand side into the text file on the left. So I'm going to copy all the outcomes and then paste them in. So I've now removed all the blank lines in between the outcomes I've just added. And then we are now going to add some formatting to the first outcome underneath number, counting, and value. So first of all, to indicate this outcome is within this section, we add in 1 hyphen at the start. And then to indicate that this is an outcome or a target that we actually want to link evidence to, we add an open and closed square brackets. So we've got 1 hyphen at the start, open square brackets, and then close square brackets. I can now copy this, bit of formatting, and then paste it in to the start of each of the outcomes. And you can now see that I've completed pasting the hyphen and open and closed square brackets at the start of each of the outcomes within the first section. So I'm now going to repeat the process, adding in the outcomes for number calculation. So I've now added a number of outcomes within number calculation. At the bottom of this section of the framework, there is a further level for Key Stage 1 greater depth. So I'm going to copy that across as a subheading, and I'm going to add 1 hyphen at the start of the line and paste that in. And then underneath it, I'm going to add in the outcomes within this area. But this time what I'm going to do is add 2 hyphens and open and close square brackets at the start. So first of all, I'll copy across from the right-hand side the outcomes within this section. And again, just paste them in. So I've now removed the blank lines from in between the outcomes. And at the start of this item, I'm going to add 2 hyphens and open square brackets and close square brackets. So what the hyphens does is it gives structure to the framework. So the framework title is Mathematics I-CAN Statements. The first heading is Number, Counting, and Value. The second heading and clickable area is Number, Calculation. And within that, we have a number of outcomes. And we also have a subheading of Key Stage 1 greater depth. And then we have an outcome that is directly linked to this area. So I'm just going to copy the formatting at the start of this item. And again, just paste it in to the other outcomes that are at the same level. So I'm just going to repeat that process now, adding in the final section of the framework. So we've now completed formatting this framework. Just a bit of a tip if you are copying across an outcome, and what may happen is it might enter the outcome over a number of lines. What you then can do if that happens when you paste it across, you can just highlight those items, and if you are using Notepad++ on your PC, you can just press Control and J and it'll put the item all on one line for you. This framework is now being completed. We've made our text file. So I'm going to save this file onto my computer. The name of the framework and evidence for learning won't be the name that you saved the file as. It will always be the first line of whatever is on the text file.
Now that I've completed creating the text file, I'm going to log into the web console to import the framework. You can refer to the email that you were sent that contains your trial or your subscription details for domain information or your school's unique URL to access the web console. So I've logged in to the web console. I'm then going to hover over Admin at the top right and then click on Access the Admin Console area. So within the Admin Console area, I'm now going to hover over System Data at the top left and then click on Frameworks.
So I'm now on the framework screen and I'm going to click on Import towards the top right. I then click on Choose File towards the top left of the pop-up window. So I've located the file, so I just click on the file name and then I click Open. So I've located and selected the text file that I want to upload. So then I just click Upload towards the bottom right. And as you can see, we have a success message to say that the framework has been imported successfully. And here I can see the framework has been added to my cloud. As ever, always feel free to get in touch if you've got any questions or you want some further support in helping you get set up with Evidence for Learning. There are a number of guides and videos available within the EFL Online Resource Centre, and always feel free to call us or to email us at services@theteachercloud.net. For information on how you can connect with the hundreds of practitioners who are using Evidence for Learning, please visit our website for further information, and that is www.evidenceforlearning.net.